Hello students, in our previous lecture we are solve a practical problem number second on computation of income from salary. Okay, in our today's lecture we are going to solve a practical problem number third on computation of income from salary. Okay, so problem number third is Mr. Ram is a manager working in Reliance Company, Mumbai. He has submitted the following information of salary for the financial year 2019-20. So Mr. Ram is the manager and he is working at the Reliance Company, Mumbai, and he furnishes the information of salary for the financial year 2019-20. Okay, so here two column is given, that is particulars rupees. In particulars, basic pay amounted to rupees 60,000 per month. Okay, 60,000 per month, basic pay 60,000 per month. Okay, then second one is DA means dearness allowance 45% on basic salary or basic pay. Okay, basic salary or basic pay, and into bracket the DA is not considered for retirement benefit. Okay, so DA or entire amount of DA is not considered for retirement benefit. Then medical allowance, so medical allowance taxable. Okay, medical allowance, helper allowance. Okay, entertainment allowance 1000 per month. Okay, taxable because the Ram is working in a private sector, so entertainment allowance is all taxable. No deduction is allowed for entertainment allowance from gross salary. Okay, so entertainment allowance is taxable because the Ram is a working in a private sector, so deduction of entertainment allowance is not given to the Ram. Okay, then employer and his own contribution to recognized provident fund is 13% of basic pay. Remember this, the employer's contribution is taken into consideration, but employee's contribution is not taken into consideration in the gross salary. So employer's contribution is very important. So employer's contribution, okay, employer's contribution. So here employer's contribution to which fund? So here very important, the provident fund, employer's contribution to recognized revenue, recognized provident fund. Okay, so recognized provident fund, got it. So the employer contribute for the employee in recognized provident fund at 13% of basic pay. So remember the tax treatment for recognized provident fund, that is, if employer contributed to employees recognized provident fund, then 12% of salary is exempted. Got it? So here employer contribute 13% of basic pay or basic salary. So we have to compute a 30% on 13% on basic pay, and then we deduct a 12% exempted, 12% employer's contribution. Okay, then interest. Okay, interest to RPF at 12% amounted to rupees 60,000. So here remember the tax treatment for interest credited to the recognized provident fund, that is 9.5% is exempted. Up to 9.5% interest credited to RPF is exempted, and remaining percentage is taxable. So here we compute a 12% and 9.5%. Okay, then commission received, so commission is a included in the salary, so it is add in the salary. Okay, taxable commission 30,000. Then he has been given gift in cash on birthday by employer. So employer gives a birthday gift to SSC, amounted rupees 10,000 in cash. Okay, so the gift is received in cash, taxable up, or the cash is received in gift, or the gift is received in cash, all are taxable. Okay, so 10,000 all amount are taxable. Gift received in check, gift received in demand draft. Okay, we already studied the perquisites. Okay, so gift received in cash, it is taxable, and gift received in kind, so it is exempted up to rupees 5,000. Okay, so remember this, 10,000 is taxable. Got it? Then HRA, so HRA is 5,000. HRA, house rent allowance, amounted rupees 5,000 per month. Okay, 5,000 per month. Okay, 5,000 per month. So we have to compute a exempted HRA, so make a star in front of house rent allowance, because we compute a exempted HRA. Then Mr. Ram has paid rent for residence, so rent is given paid by the SSC. So it is very important to compute a house rent allowances or exempted house rent allowances. Okay, so make a star in front of uh, rent paid. Okay, because this rent is taken into consideration for calculation of exempted HRA. Then hostel allowance, so hostel allowance is exempted for two children's, maximum two children's. Okay, HRA, sorry, house rent, sorry, hostel allowances amounted to rupees 400 per month, and hostel allowances is exempted to rupees 300 per month for two child, maximum two children per month. Okay, so the 300, so it is a partly taxable, partly exempted allowance. So make a star in front of hostel allowance. Okay, amounted to rupees 400. Then he has been provided with a of car of 2 point or 20 HP. Okay, 20 HP means cc, cubic capacity is above 1.6. Okay, so here 20 HP by his employer for official and private purpose. The running and maintenance expenses is paid by the employer, and driver's salary is also given by the employer to the employee. So remember this is a very important perquisite, so make a star in front of this information, because we have to compute a car facility. Okay, so here we highlight this perquisite by yellow color. We compute this perquisite after considering all the allowances and all the uh, perquisites. Then he has been provided gardener and cook. The salary paid to them, rupees 7,000 per month and 6,000 per month respectively. So it is a perquisite given by the employer. Employer provided a gardener and cook to the employee, and employer paid a salary to gardener and cook, amounted to rupees 7,000 per month and 6,000 per month respectively. Got it? So here this perquisite is taxable. Then professional tax, so SSC paid professional tax rupees 2,500 per annum. Now compute the taxable income from salary for the AY 2020-21. Okay, so information provided by the SEC, we have to compute a taxable income from salary. We are find out here the taxable allowances and partly taxable and partly exempted allowance, as well as perquisites, valuation of perquisites and directly taxable perquisites we are find out here. Now we prepare a solution. So here solution, that is computation of taxable income from salary. Then name of SSE, Mr. Ram, worked at Mumbai. Okay, city is very important, okay, for calculation of HRA. Okay, city is very important for calculation of HRA. Then previous year and assessment year. So first of all, assessment year 2020-21, previous year 2019 2019-20. Prepare a 3 column, that is particulars rupees. Prepare a 3 column, that is particulars rupees. Okay, then here first basic pay 60,000 per month. Basic pay 60,000, so 60 multiplied by 12, so here we get 7,20,000 yearly basic pay. Then next one is a DA 45% of basic salary. Then DA dearness allowance 45% on basic pay or salary. Got it? So compute a 45% on basic pay. Basic pay is 7,20,000, that is 45 divided by 100 multiplied by 7,20,000. Okay, 7,20,000. So here we get a taxable DA, that is 3,24,000. 3,24,000 is the DA. Then next one is medical allowance 17,000 per month. So medical allowance all are taxable. Medical 17,000 per annum, it means yearly given, that is 17,000. Okay, 17,000 per annum. So here 17,000 for a whole year. So medical allowance is received for a whole year amounted rupees 17,000. Then then helper allowance. So helper allowance is rupees 5,000 per month. So 5,000 into 12 is equal to 60,000. Okay, but helper allowance is not utilized or not spent. Okay, if helper allowance is spent, okay, if helper allowance is spent, then the spent amount is exempted from the helper allowance. Here helper allowance or the information of helper allowance is not provided that the helper allowance is utilized or used for the purpose of the work. Okay, so here the helper allowance is not utilized, then it is considered all uh, used for the or included in the salary. Okay, if helper allowance is utilized, then utilized amount is exempted from the total helper allowance. Okay, 60,000 all are taxable. So expenditure or the helper allowance is not spent, so all helper allowance is taxable. Then next one is entertainment allowance 1,000 per month. So here helper allowance, then entertainment allowance 1,000 per month, 1,000 into 12, that is 12,000. Then next employer contribution. So employer contribution is taken into consideration, but employee contribution is not taken into consideration in gross salary. Got it? In gross salary we cannot taken into consideration the employee contribution to RPF. Okay, but in gross salary we taken into consideration the employer contribution. So here employer contribution to RPF, recognized provident fund, at 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 13% of, at the rate 13% of basic pay. So here compute a 13% on basic pay, that is we already compute a basic pay. Okay, so basic pay is 13 divided by 100 multiplied by 7,20,000. 7,20,000. Okay, so here we get in inner column, amount is in inner column, because we already studied a tax treatment for recognized provident fund. So tax treatment says that 12% employer contribution is exempted, above 12% it is taxable. So here 1% is taxable, that is 13% of 7,20,000, that is 93,600, sorry, 93,600. Then exempted less exempted up to 12%, up to 12% of salary. Okay, so here we compute a salary. So here into bracket salary is equal to basic pay plus basic pay plus DA into bracket basic pay plus DA, basic pay plus DA, consider for retirement benefit. So DA is not considered for retirement benefit plus percentage of commission on sales. Okay, so put the figures in formula. So here salary is equal to, so here full stop, salary is equal to basic pay 7,20,000 plus DA. So DA is not considered for retirement benefit, so it is not included in the salary for computation of exempted contribution of employer in RPF. So here nil plus percentage of commission is not given, then nil. So total salary is equal to 7 lakh 20,000. Got it? 7,20,000. So compute a 7,20,000 or 12% on 7,20,000, that is here into bracket 12 divided by 100 multiplied by 7,20,000. We get a exempted, that is amounted rupees 86,600 exempted contribution, and remaining balance is taxable, that is 7,200 is taxable. Okay, 7,200 is taxable. 7,200 is taxable. So put the 7,200 is taxable, 7,200. So here 7,200 is taxable. Then next income is interest credited to recognized provident fund 60,000. So here again interest. So here interest credited to RPF at the rate 12% per annum. Okay, amounted rupees in inner column, because the interest credited to recognized provident fund is exempted up to 9.5%. So here 60,000 less exempted up to 9.5%. So compute, that is 60,000 into 9.5 divided by 12% total rate of interest. Okay, total rate of interest. So here we get the amount, that is 47,500 and remaining balance is taxable. Okay, and remaining balance is taxable. So exempted interest is rupees 47,500, remaining balance is taxable. So remaining balance is 12,500. 12,500 is taxable. Okay, then next one is commission received. So commission is taxable. Okay, amounted rupees 30,000 per annum. So commission taxable 30,000 per annum. So here commission received amounted rupees 30,000. Okay, then next that is gift. Okay, so gift in kind or gift in cash, we already studied the perquisite. If the employee or the assessee has received a gift in kind, it is exempted up to rupees 5,000. And if an assessee received a gift in cash, in check, in DD, so all amount are taxable received in cash. So here 10,000 is taxable. Okay, then next gift from employer in cash, very important, in cash. Okay, so gift is received in cash, so it is taxable, amounted rupees 10,000. Then next one is house rent allowance. Okay, so computation of house rent allowance, we make a working note. Okay, so here working note first, that is computation or calculation of exempted HRA. HRA means house rent allowance. Okay, so house rent allowance, very easy to compute. We already compute HRA in our last lecture or previous problem. So first of all, compute a salary for HRA. Okay, so first of all, compute a salary for HRA. Okay, so here salary is equal to basic pay or basic salary plus DA into bracket consider for retirement benefit plus percentage of commission on sales. Okay, so we already find out the salary is equal to, that is, okay, salary is equal to salary is equal to basic pay 7,20,000 plus DA. So dearness allowance is not considered for retirement benefit, so nil, plus percentage of commission, so commission is not given on sales, so amount is nil. So salary is equal to 7,20,000. okay, salary is equal to 7,20,000. Now we are easily compute a exempted HRA. Prepare a 2 column, that is particulars rupees or particulars rupees. Okay, 2 column for computation of exempted HR. So here particulars and rupees. First point is exempted HRA. Okay, exempted HRA list of the following three. So first point is actual HRA received. So actual HRA received is given, that is amounted to rupees. Here actual HRA received amounted to rupees 5,000 per month. Okay, so actually HRA received is taken into consideration. That is 5,000 into 12. So here amounting column is rupees 60,000. Then next one is rent paid. Second one is rent paid. So rent paid is already given. Okay, rent paid is given, that is he paid rent for residence. Okay, so here the Mr. Ram has paid a rent for residence amounted to rupees 7,000 per month. Got it? 7,000 per month. So here in inner column, that is rent paid 7,000 per month, that is 7,000 multiplied by 12. 7,000 multiplied by 12 is equal to, in inner column, is equal to 84,000, is equal to 84,000 minus less we deduct a 10% of salary from rent paid. So less 10% of salary. So we already compute a salary. So here that is 10 divided by 100 multiplied by 7,20,000. Okay, that is 7,20,000. 7,20,000. We deduct a 10%, that is 72,000 from 84,000. Okay, deduct 72,000 from 82,000, we get a amount in outer column, that is 12,000. And third point is 40/50% of salary. 40/50% of salary. So here remember the rule for exempted HRA, that is 40% of salary if an employee is worked in other than metro cities. Got it? So here Mr. Ram is worked at Mumbai. Okay, so he is worked in metro city, so we taken into consideration that the 50%. Okay, so here we consider that 50% of salary, so 50% on 50 divided by 100 multiplied by 7 lakh 20,000. Okay, so here the amount is equal to 3 lakh 60,000. Got it? Because the Ram is worked at Mumbai, so employee or the SAC is worked at Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, then we consider a 50% of salary for computation of exempted HRA. Now we compare the three values. Which value is lower is exempted HRA. So here 12,000 is lower value, so 12,000 is exempted HRA. So 12,000 is exempted HRA. So here we get a exempted HRA. Okay, so we compute a exempted HRA. Now we deduct. So here house rent received, so house rent received is equal to 5,000 multiplied by 12 is equal to 60,000, is equal to 60,000. Deduct exemption less exempted HRA working note number first एक as per working note number first 12,000. So remaining balance is taxable, so HRA minus 12,000, so remaining balance is 48,000, and that 48,000 is taxable or included in the salary of the SAC. Got it? Then next one is hostel allowance. So hostel allowance is partly taxable, partly exempted. Okay, so here hostel allowance 400 per month, so 400 multiplied by 12 we get a 4,800, we get a amount that is 4,800. Okay, then less exemption or exempted hostel allowance rupees 300 per month, that is per month for 2 children into rupees into 12. Okay, 400 into 12, because hostel allowance, okay, so hostel allowance, Mr. Ram has one son studying in the college. Okay, so only one son is studying in the college and he received rupees 400. So here 400 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 1, and here also multiplied by 1, because one son is studying in the college. So exempted is 3,600. Got it? Then taxable, so taxable hostel allowance is equal to taxable hostel allowance is equal to 1200. Okay, then next is car facility. So valuation of motor car is very important. Car is owned by, so read the perquisite of car facility again. So Mr. Ram has received a car facility, okay, from employer. Car HP 20, it means more than or above 1.6 cc, and the car is used for both official and private purpose. The running and maintenance expenses including driver's salary paid by employer. So employer has provided the car facility to the SAC, and car CC is above 1.6 cc, okay, cubic capacity. So here car is used for both official and private purpose. So remember the valuation of car perquisites. Okay, we studied the valuation of perquisite of car facility. Okay, car facility situation. Okay, car is used for private purpose, car is used for official purpose, and car is used for both private as well as official purpose. Okay, so here fourth situation is given that car is used for both official and private purpose, and car expenses paid by employer. So valuation of motor car is very important. So here valuation of motor car, valuation of motor car, working note number second. Working note second, valuation of car facility. Okay, very easy to compute a car facility. So here first point that is car owned by employer and expenses paid by employer. Okay, expenses paid by employer. Then purpose, second point is purpose. Okay, so car is used for purpose, car is used for both official and private purpose. Okay, very important, car is used for both official and private purpose. Third is cubic capacity. Okay, so engine capacity, okay, car engine capacity. So car engine capacity is 20 HP. 20 HP means 20 horsepower. Okay, 20 horsepower. It means 2000 cc. It means 2000 cc, 2000 cubic capacity car. Okay, 2000 cubic capacity car. So here into bracket the car cubic capacity. So car cubic capacity is above 1.6 cc. Okay, 1.6 cc. Okay, that is 1600 cc, above 1600 cc. So value of motor car is here 4 point, that is value of motor car is equal to, so remember the chart. If the car is owned by employer and expenses paid by employer and car cubic capacity is above 1.6 cc, then 2400 per month, got it, 2400 per month, so is equal to 12 plus driver is provided. So here one point is missing, that is fourth, including driver salary, including driver salary, okay, including driver salary. So here if the car cubic capacity is above 1.6 cc and car is used for both official and private purpose, so 2400 per month, it means 2400 per month, so 2400 into 12 plus driver salary or chopper salary 900 per month into 12, we get a value of motor car, okay, we get a value of motor car that is is equal to 12,000 sorry 2400 into 12, okay, is equal to 28,800 plus 900 900 into 12, that is 10,800 is equal to value of motor car facility is equal to value of motor car facility is equal to 39,600, got it. So here we compute a 29,600 value of motor car, got it. So here consider here in our format, that is value of motor car directly to the outer column, that is 39,600, got it, into bracket in front of car facility, that is working note second, okay, working note second. How we compute the motor car value or facility of motor car? So it is very easy, remember the chart of valuation of motor car, okay. If you remember the chart, then it is not hard to compute the value of motor car, got it. Then next one is the employer provided a gardener and cook to the employee and salary paid by employer, so this perquisite also taxable, okay. So here gardener salary, that is 7,000 per month, okay, salary that is 7,000 per month, 7,000 into 12, we get 7,000 into 12, that is 84,000, okay, that is 84,000. And next one is cook salary 6,000 per month, 6,000 multiplied by 12, okay. So 6,000 multiplied by 12 is equal to 72,000, okay. So here we taken into consideration all the taxable allowances and all the perquisites here. Okay, now we make the total of outer column, and total of outer column is the gross salary of that SAC. Total of outer column is the gross salary of the Mr. Ram. Okay, so make the total. So here 7,20,000 plus 3,24,000 plus 17,000 plus 60,000 plus 12,000 plus 7,200 plus 12,500 plus 30,000 plus 10,000 plus 48,000 plus 1,200 plus 39,600 plus 84,000 plus 72,000. The total gross salary is equal to 14,37,500. Got it? Is the gross salary. Gross salary. Okay, is the gross salary. Then we get a deduction that is less. Here we get a gross salary. Now we get a deductions under section 16. Okay, so first deduction under section 16 is standard deduction under section 16 subsection first A, that is fix the deduction amounted rupees 50,000. Entertainment allowance second, entertainment allowance under section 16 subsection 2. Okay, so entertainment allowance is not deducted from the gross salary of private sector employee, so nil. Then third one is professional tax. So professional tax is paid by the SAC 2,500, paid by the SAC 2,500. Okay, so remember the entertainment allowance is allowed for deduction under section 16 subsection 2 only for government employee. Private sector employee are not allowed to deduct the entertainment allowance under section 16 subsection 2. So here we consider the nil. Make the total, and the total deduction is 52,500. So deduct 52,500 from 14,37,500. So here 13,85,000 is the income from, is the taxable income from salary. Got it? Here we find out the taxable income from salary. Okay, got it? Yes sir, got it. So first of all you have to remember all the theoretical part. Okay, we already discussed in our earlier lecture, that is taxable allowances, partly taxable partly exempted allowances, then perquisites. Okay, taxable perquisites and exempted perquisites, then valuation of perquisite. So valuation of perquisite is very important, valuation of accommodation and valuation of motor car. Okay, if you remember all the things, then it is not harder to solve the taxable income of the SAC. Okay, got it? Okay, in our next lecture we are solve another practical problem on computation of income from salary. Okay, again we revise here the problem number 3rd. बघा, मिस्टर राम हा मॅनेजर आहे, रिलायन्स कंपनीमध्ये काम करतोय मुंबईमध्ये, त्याने इन्फॉर्मेशन प्रोव्हाइड केलेली आहे. बेसिक सॅलरी म्हणजे बेसिक पे आहे 60,000 पर मंथ. सॅलरी कम्प्यूट करतोय आपण पूर्ण वर्षाची, याला बेसिक पे मंथली मिळते किती 60,000. मग हे बेसिक पे इयरमध्ये कन्वर्ट करायचं असतं, म्हणजेच 60,000 गुणिले 12, एका वर्षामध्ये 12 मंथ म्हणून 60,000 मल्टिप्लाइड बाय 12. डी ए काय सांगितलं आहे 45% बेसिक सॅलरी किंवा बेसिक पेच्या, आणि पुढं ब्रॅकेट म्हणले की नॉट कन्सिडर फॉर रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिट. म्हणजे DA 45% बेसिक सॅलरीचे आहे, परंतु रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिटसाठी तो कन्सिडर केलेला नाही. मग सॅलरी आपण डिफरंट पर्पजसाठी कम्प्यूट करतो, त्यामध्ये DA घेतो, इथे मात्र DA येणार नाही. जर DA रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिटसाठी कन्सिडर केला असेल तरच तो येणार आहे. त्यानंतर मेडिकल अलाउन्स मिळतोय, टॅक्सेबल आहे. हेल्पर अलाउन्स सुद्धा काय आहे, टॅक्सेबल आहे. परंतु हेल्पर अलाउन्स जर खर्च केला नसेल तर तो टॅक्सेबल राहील. जर खर्च केला असेल त्याचा, तर जेवढं काय ॲक्च्युअल एक्सपेन्सेस झाले असतील ते एक्झम्प्ट होतील, आणि जेवढा तुम्ही सेव्ह केलेला आहे तेवढा टॅक्सेबल राहील. एंटरटेनमेंट अलाउन्स फुल्ली टॅक्सेबल. Employer and his own contribution. His means the SSC's own contribution. It means employer as well as SSC has make a contribution in recognized provident fund of at the rate 13% of basic pay or basic salary. So remember one thing here, that the employee's contribution should not be included in the gross salary. बघा मी काय म्हणलं की एम्प्लॉईची कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन ग्रॉस सॅलरीमध्ये येत नाही, परंतु एम्प्लॉयरचं कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन मात्र ग्रॉस सॅलरीमध्ये येतं. मग रिकग्नाइज्ड प्रोव्हिडंट फंडसाठी काय टॅक्स ट्रीटमेंट आहे हे आपण अभ्यासलेलं आहे की 12% कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन एम्प्लॉयरचं माफ राहील जर ते रिकग्नाइज्ड प्रोव्हिडंट फंडमध्ये कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट करत असतील तर. आता हे किती करतायत 13%. मग आधी सॅलरी कम्प्यूट करावी लागेल. सॅलरी कशी कम्प्यूट करतात ते आपण पाहिलं. पुढे जाऊया. इंटरेस्ट क्रेडिटेड. इंटरेस्ट 9.5% माफ आहे. हे व्याज किती क्रेडिट करतायत 12%, 60,000. कमिशन टॅक्सेबल. त्यानंतर गिफ्ट मिळालं कॅशमध्ये 10,000 रुपये, पूर्ण टॅक्सेबल. काइंडमध्ये मिळालं गिफ्ट तर ते 5,000 माफ राहील. याच्यारे आपल्याला एक्झम्प्टेड कम्प्यूट करावं लागेल. त्यासाठी हाऊस रेंट अलाउन्स आणि तो रेंट किती पेड करतो ह्या दोन गोष्टी महत्त्वाच्या आहेत, म्हणून त्यांच्या पुढे आपण स्टार केलेला आहे. त्यानंतर हॉस्टेल अलाउन्स हा पार्टली एक्झम्प्टेड पार्टली टॅक्सेबल आहे. 400 रुपये पर महिना मिळतोय. ओके, 400 पर मंथ मिळतोय. एका मुलासाठी मिळतोय. लक्षात आलं, एका मुलासाठी मिळतोय. म्हणजेच आपण काय केलं 400 गुणिले 12 गुणिले 1 का केलं तर एक मुलगा आहे जो की तो कॉलेजमध्ये शिकतोय, त्याचंच एक्झम्पशन किती मिळेल 300 गुणिले 12 गुणिले 1, कारण एकच मुलं आहे. मॅक्झिमम 2 मुलांसाठी. त्यानंतर कार फॅसिलिटी आपण कॅल्क्युलेट केली. त्यानंतर दुसरं परक्विजिट शेवटचं जे आहे ते म्हणजे गार्डनर आणि कुकची सॅलरी हे एम्प्लॉयर पेड करतोय, ते परक्विजिट आहे, टॅक्सेबल राहील. त्यानंतर SSC प्रोफेशनल टॅक्स भरतोय 2,500 रुपये पर ॲनम. ओके, मग सोल्युशनला सुरुवात केली. आता सर्व माहिती म्हणजे बेसिक सॅलरी 60,000 पर मंथ आहे, त्याचं आपण काय केलं 60,000 पर मंथचं इयरली केलं. ओके, इयरमध्ये कन्वर्शन केलं. मग किती होईल 60 मल्टिप्लाइड बाय 12 किती आले 7,20,000 इयरली बेसिक सॅलरी. डिअरनेस अलाउन्स किती आहे 45% ऑन बेसिक सॅलरी और बेसिक पे. So here we compute a 45% on basic pay. So 45% or 45 divided by 100 multiplied by 7,20,000. We get a DA amounted to rupees 3,24,000. आपल्याला DA मिळाला 3,24,000 एवढा. ओके, काय सांगितलंय त्यांनी की प्रॉब्लेममध्ये सांगितले 45% DA तुम्हाला मिळतोय, तो कशावरती आहे बेसिक सॅलरीवरती, बेसिक पेवरती. बेसिक पे आपण कम्प्यूट केलं इयरली किती आहे 7,20,000 रुपये. मग 7,20,000च्या 45% आपल्याला मिळेल 3,24,000. त्यानंतर मेडिकल अलाउन्स हा सुद्धा काय आहे टॅक्सेबल आहे. ओके, मग टॅक्सेबल काय केला जाईल तर आउटरला लिहिला जाईल. लक्षात येते. ओके, सो हिअर बेसिक पेचे आपण कम्प्यूट केलं. मेडिकल अलाउन्स फुल्ली टॅक्सेबल आहे. ओके, जर तो खर्च केला नसेल तर तो टॅक्सेबल राहील. मिळतोय कसा, आता PA लिहिलंय म्हणजे पर ॲनम. पर ॲनम म्हणजे इयरली आपल्याला मेडिकल अलाउन्स 17,000 मिळतं म्हणून डायरेक्ट 17,000 आउटरला घेतले. हेल्पर अलाउन्स आपल्याला 5,000 पर मंथ मिळतोय, प्रत्येक महिन्याला 5,000 मिळतोय. वर्षाचा किती होईल, 60,000. परंतु हेल्पर अलाउन्स एक्झम्प्टेड आहे. किती एक्झम्प्ट आहे, जेवढा तुम्ही खर्च केला असेल तेवढा एक्झम्प्ट आहे. परंतु इथं काही खर्च दिलेला नाही. याचा अर्थ वी टेकन इन टू कन्सिडरेशन दॅट द हेल्पर अलाउन्सेस is not utilized, it is saved. Okay, so allowance is saved, then it is included in the salary or it is included in the taxable income of the SEC. मग हेल्पर अलाउन्स जर युटिलाइज केला नाही तर तो काय राहील, टॅक्सेबल राहील. एंटरटेनमेंट अलाउन्स फुल्ली टॅक्सेबल आहे. 1,000 पर मंथ मिळतो, 12 महिन्याचे 12,000. एम्प्लॉयर कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन किती सांगितलंय तर 13% बेसिक सॅलरीच्या. बेसिक सॅलरी किती आहे, 7,20,000. 7,20,000च्या 13% आपण कम्प्यूट केलेला आहे. इथं लक्ष द्या, दॅट इज मी त्यासाठीच इथं तुमच्यासमोर डायरेक्ट कम्प्युटेशन प्रॉब्लेममध्ये सुद्धा दिलेला आहे. 13% 7,20,000च्या आपल्याला रक्कम मिळाली 93,600. आता एक्झम्प्टेड किती आहे आपल्याला, तर बघा टॅक्स ट्रीटमेंट आपण प्रोव्हिडंट फंडच्या पाहिल्या, त्यामध्ये रिकग्नाइज्ड प्रोव्हिडंट फंडची टॅक्स ट्रीटमेंट तुम्ही परत आठवा. काय सांगितलं होतं की रिकग्नाइज्ड प्रोव्हिडंट फंडमध्ये एम्प्लॉयरनं कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन केलं असेल तर ते 12% इतकं माफ आहे सॅलरीच्या, म्हणजे सॅलरीच्या 12%पर्यंत माफ राहील. मग इथं सॅलरी आपण कम्प्यूट केली, इथंच तुम्हाला सॅलरी कम्प्यूट करून दिलेली आहे. वेगळी वर्किंग नोट त्यासाठी केलेली नाही आपण. लक्षात आलं, ओके, लक्षात आलं. सॅलरी म्हणजे काय तर बेसिक पे प्लस DA. DA कधीचा येईल, जर तो रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिटसाठी विचारात घेतला असेल तर येईल. इथं विचारात घेतलाय का, नाही, सरळ स्पष्ट सांगितलेलं आहे, DA नॉट कन्सिडर फॉर रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिट. नॉट आलं तर विचारात घ्यायचं नाही, कन्सिडर आलं तर विचारात घ्यायचं. जर त्याच्या पुढे ब्रॅकेटमध्ये काहीच दिलं नाही तर असं गृहीत करायचं की हा फुल DA, सगळा DA रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिटसाठी कन्सिडर होणार आहे. लक्षात आलं मी काय म्हणतोय, परत बघा की जर DAच्या पुढे ब्रॅकेटमध्ये नॉट कन्सिडर फॉर रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिट म्हटलं असेल तर तो DA कुठल्याही सॅलरीमध्ये ॲड होणार नाही. जर DAच्या ब्रॅकेटमध्ये किंवा DAच्या समोर ब्रॅकेटमध्ये असं लिहिलं कन्सिडर फॉर रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिट तर घेणार. जर ब्रॅकेटमध्ये काहीच दिलं नाही, ओनली DA लिहिला, DA अमाऊंटेड रुपीज 3,24,000 असं दिलं, ब्रॅकेटमध्ये काहीच दिलेलं नाही, मग आपण तिथं असं कन्सिडर करायचं, असं समजायचं की हा पूर्ण DA रिटायरमेंटसाठी घेतला जाणार आहे आणि तो कन्सिडर होईल. लक्षात आलं, मग इथं कन्सिडर केले, सॅलरीवरती 12% एक्झाम केले आणि रिमेनिंग बॅलन्स आपण टॅक्सेबल केला. त्यानंतर इंटरेस्ट सुद्धा 12% दिला जातोय. ओके, 12% दिला जातोय. एक्झम्प्ट किती आहे, 9.5%. तेवढा एक्झम्प्ट करा, 9.5%. राहिलेला बॅलन्स टॅक्सेबल राहील. पुढे कमिशन रिसिव्ड टॅक्सेबल, गिफ्ट फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉयर इन कॅश. तर पर्क्विजिट आपण पाहिलं, हे काय आहे, पर्क्विजिट आहे. पर्क्विजिट कोणता आहे, गिफ्ट रिसिव्ड फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉयर. गिफ्ट रिसिव्ड फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉयर इन दिस perquisite we have to study a two parts, that is gift received in kind and gift received in cash, DD, checks, etc. If gift received in kind exempted up to ₹5,000 and gift received in cash the all amount are taxable. म्हणजे गिफ्ट तुम्हाला कॅशमध्ये मिळाले तर सगळी रक्कम टॅक्सेबल राहणार आहे. ओके, त्यानंतर याच्याने आपण कम्प्यूट केला आणि वर्किंग नोट पहिली त्यासाठी आपण कम्प्यूट किंवा शोधलेली आहे, फाइंड आउट केलेला आहे. 12,000 HRA कसा आला तर ते सुद्धा मी तुम्हाला सांगितलेलं आहे, तर व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट आहे. हॉस्टेल अलाउन्स आपण पाहिलं, एक्झम्पशन. व्हॅल्यू ऑफ मोटार कार वर्किंग नोट नंबर 2 आपण पाहिली. त्यानंतर पर्क्विजिट गार्डनची सॅलरी, गार्डनरची सॅलरी आणि कुकची सॅलरी एम्प्लॉयर देतोय ते घेतलेलं आहे. या सर्वांची टोटल केली, आपल्याला ग्रॉस सॅलरी मिळाली 14,37,000. या 14,37,000मधून आपण डिडक्शन्स वजा करतो. डिडक्शन अंडर सेक्शन 16, त्यामध्ये स्टँडर्ड डिडक्शन अंडर सेक्शन 16 सबसेक्शन 1A ते किती आहे, स्टँडर्ड डिडक्शन विथ इफेक्ट फ्रॉम 2020-21 ₹50,000. स्टँडर्ड डिडक्शन किती आहे, सॅलरी पर्सनला ₹50,000. एंटरटेनमेंट अलाउन्स अंडर सेक्शन 16 सबसेक्शन 2. आता एंटरटेनमेंट अलाउन्स कुणासाठी अलाउड आहे डिडक्शन, तर गव्हर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉईसाठी, म्हणून इथं नेल घेतला. हा गव्हर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉई आहे का, तर राम हा प्रायव्हेट कंपनीमध्ये काम करतोय, त्यामुळे एंटरटेनमेंट अलाउन्स याचा डिडक्ट होणार नाही. प्रोफेशनल टॅक्स राम भरतोय किती, 2,500. ओके, तो डिडक्ट होईल. मग डिडक्शनची टोटल केली, 52,500 आली. 52,500 14,37,500तून वजा केली, आपल्याला रक्कम मिळाली ती 13,85,000. या 13,85,000ला आपण काय म्हणतो, टॅक्सेबल इन्कम फ्रॉम सॅलरी. गॉट इट. सो हिअर वी फाइंड आउट ए टॅक्सेबल इन्कम फ्रॉम सॅलरी. In our next lecture we are solve another practical problem on computation of income from salary. Okay, thank you very much.